Just enough to go under, yeah. I better pay attention to what I'm gonna say here. Okay, I should be good. I don't know who's got the control, but I don't.
Ty has that.
The
Control?
thermostat controller. I don't either. It's running pretty good now. All right, you ready? Okay. Good afternoon. It is August 6, 2024 at 3 p.m. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Uintah County Commission being held in the commission chambers. This will be started by Lesha Coltharp for the prayer and then Karen England with the pledge. If you haven't, please check all your devices to make sure they're on quiet.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are so very grateful to be able to gather together today as community leaders. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to be able to serve our community. We ask you to please bless that the decisions that are made today will be in the best interest of our county and its citizens. We ask you to please watch over and protect all those that serve us in the armed forces and in our local community, that they will be protected as they are doing their jobs. We're grateful for the rights that we have and for the freedoms that we are blessed with. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Karen.
Hello, Karen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, we have the approval of the minutes for July 23rd, 24, special work session, July 23rd, 24, meeting July 29th of 24, work session, July 30th, 2024 meeting, and August 2nd, 2024 special meeting.
I would make a motion that we approve all of those minutes as stated.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. You can't take any more time off, Ty. Mr. Wilkins, report of warrants.
Commissioners, we paid no bills last week, so we have no warrants today. So get ready for next week's.
We're off next weekend, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's true, we're off next week. No meetings next week. But I do have a tax matter, Commissioners.
All right.
Commissioners, this is a piece of property that Vernal City, this is on serial number 05-025-0064. They purchased this property in, I wrote it, March of this year, March 25th of 2024. And the prior owner paid their portion of the taxes during their closing. So we need to abate for serial number 0525006064, $643.97.
Okay, call for motion.
I would make a motion that we approve this abatement as stated.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Ryan, you're on.
Commissioners, back in April, we had a contract that we signed, an MOU with UEN to do a Wi-Fi reimbursement program. That contract has been amended by $1,500 for us to run some conduit in the library between the first and second floor. That's the only thing that changed in the entire MOU, is just increased by $1,500. The electronic copy has been sent to Commissioner Larson, and so just requesting electronic signature on that.
And if I remember from our work session, that is not coming out of our pocket. They are paying for that, correct? UEN?
That is correct. It is reimbursement, so we spend it and then they'll send us a
reimburse us?
reimbursement check. We have to have all of that done and installed before November 1 is the agreement.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is
good.
possible.
Great.
It'll be sent back today.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're on for the next one. You
Well,
have,
I have to.
oh, I better have a vote.
We do
Sorry.
need to vote on that one.
I'll have a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the amendment to the UEN Library Wi-Fi contract in the amount of $1,500 as presented.
Call for a vote.
Aye?
Aye. Now you're on. Come on, one of you. Oh, no, you don't get to sit there, Jared.
I'd like to introduce Jared Collier. He's the new applications program in the IT department. We're delighted to have him, and this is going to be a big enhancement, a nice enhancement for our team moving forward. So, with it, Jared, and if you want to say a couple words about yourself, feel free.
Sure. Thank you I'm glad to be here, first of all. Very excited to be working at Uintah County and excited to work with all of you on the data and application software needs of this institution. So thank you.
Great. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, welcome.
I did want to say one thing, not really specifically to you, but to the position, that this wasn't a new position. This was filling an open vacancy when Crystal Clark was appointed as the director of the IT department. That left an opening in the department, and Jared is filling that opening. Change the description, but it is not a new position, I was just wanting them to understand it wasn't a new one, it was just filling an empty one. So, great.
All right, Lesha. Buckskin Hills Tractor Lease Agreement.
All right, I'm here to present the tractor lease for for April 1st through September 30th of 2025. We have to present this far in advance because Big B Equipment needs to work with John Deere Company in order to get the tractor that we'll be leasing in, and they can't order it until they have a signed lease. So I just am here to present that. It's for $20.52 per hour for 250 hours plus a loader at $600 for a total of $5,730. This is year 4, maybe 5 we've been leasing from them, and the cost has been the same over time. And it's on state bid. That's why we go through Big B Equipment. So,
Which is kind of rare nowadays to be the same amount.
Yes, exactly.
So, that's welcoming news.
Any questions?
If none, I would make a motion that we approve the Buckskin Hills Tractor Lease Agreement for $5,730.
And I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Was Kenny gonna make it today?
I thought so. I guess we can table it.
All right, we're gonna skip over number 8, see if he shows up before we're done. So we'll continue on with Resolution 08-05-2024 R1, rescind Resolution 05-21-24 R3, ZAP tax renewal. Mr. Wilkins?
Yes, Commissioners. Back on May 21st of 24 this year, we passed a resolution to put the ZAP tax or RAP tax back on the ballot to be on this November election. And with the atmosphere in our community right now, this tax does not expire until October of 26. And Representative Chu has been working on some legislative language that would change the requirement of that vote to go back on. So with that, Commissioners, I present Resolution 85-2024-R1, which the county attorney is still working on, for your approval to rescind it so that it will not go on this year's election November ballot. We'll either put it on next November's ballot with the cities and the municipalities in the water districts, or the next June election, which will still June of 26.
If the legislature doesn't do
Right,
anything
if the
to
legislature
change it.
doesn't change what we need to do.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want to make sure the public knows this has been being collected for almost 30 years now. It is what it supports, Western Park and the museum, everything
And the
down there.
amphitheater.
And the amphitheater, yes, the amphitheater. It does not support the conference center. That money is coming from other sources. So with that, if John has something to add to it.
I do. Just in my schedule today, I didn't bring a draft down, but I have a draft. All the points are right there. So the way it would read is, whereas Uintah County has utilized the ZAP tax since 1996, and whereas revenue generated by this tax has provided substantially all funding for the Western Park Complex, parentheses, main building with indoor arena installs, ice rink, amphitheater, and museum and rodeo grounds and related facilities. And whereas if this funding is not renewed before October 31st, 2026, there will be a lapse in funding for these public facilities, which will lead to a decline in events, activities, and services to the community at Western Park. And whereas Uintah County desires to take additional time to consider these impacts and interests in the community to continue the operation of Western Park, now therefore the Board of Uintah County Commissioners hereby rescinds Resolution 05-21-2024 R3 ZAP tax renewal. And then signatures. Okay, that's your resolution. Okay, call for a motion.
I would make a motion to approve, is it rescinding? Of
Oh, you
resolution
would just approve Resolution
5.
08-05-2024 R1.
All right.
Because the resolution has all the other language in it, so you just need
Right.
to approve the resolution.
The new one, okay. I so move.
Any discussion?
No.
All right, call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You're going the wrong way, Angie. It's up here. It's you right now. It is you right now.
Oh, I was 10. I'm so sorry. Try to leave really quick. I had notes and I forgot them, but I'm sure you guys noticed Taylor that was here. She'll be right back in just 1 second. So I'm just here today to discuss the contracts and for my federal funders as well as our state funders. With my federal funding, I did not need to have signatures based on the amendments that we did. They were not significant at all. The changes that we made with the VOCA contract was we moved the personnel to 100% VOCA funded. So we removed benefits and put that off on the county, and then the federal funders are covering wages. I did this so that we can count all of the services that my federal employees are providing for the kiddos. If I hadn't done that, I would have to prorate. So we wouldn't be able to capture and report everything that they do. So I wanted to be able to show our federal funders what we're doing and how important our work is. As it's come down the pipe that there will probably be significant cuts in the federal program because of they don't have the funding that they did and things like that. So we're doing all that we can. So should that come down the pipe for us, we have a contingency plan to try to offset any reduction in our budget. The other change that we made, Actually, I think that's it. That's my only change, so that's why we did not need a new signature. Our fiscal year 2025 for my federal grant is $135,755.92. And with this, we are covering 2 employees and the mental health program for the victims and their families, for the kiddos that we see and family members that are secondary victims. So we're beyond grateful for that. And to the county for the benefits that they provide for the employees that are there. The other item that I have on the agenda is the state contract. Our state contract amendment was significantly larger than it has ever been. That change is based on the number of kiddos and family members that we are providing services for and that we're seeing. The other change is, I can give you both a copy. I know that we sent a copy to you, John, but I don't know if you've seen it, so I'll just let you speak. So this is the new contract. On the second page, I believe it's the second page, is the amendment for the mental health program. So the state is aware of the potential lack of funding in our budgets for our federal programs. So to offset that, they have implemented a plan for mental health for the families that we serve here. I'm hoping that we won't need to use that, but should we have to make cuts on our federal grant, that's where we would choose to cut down on our funds. So that's one change of the amendment. The second change is the awarded amount. On the very back page, you can see it's broken down how we plan on spending those funds. We've budgeted into line items and signed that with the state. So for example, last year we saw 173 kids total. That does not include family members or secondary victims. This year, oh, sorry, that's this year. So we are at 190 this year. Sorry, that was a mistake. 190 kiddos that we've seen already. Last year we saw 300. Those are numbers that we've never seen before. So we are having a great response to helping the kids, making sure that they get the interviews that they need, and providing all of the services that we can. So that's kind of how our award amounts go, is based on the number of people that we're seeing. So as our numbers grow, unfortunately, our budget does as well. With the new contract amount, we did implement some wage increase to try to be competitive to the other centers around the state. We're still below average in wages only, in comparison to the other states. So in the future, we may look at another wage increase, of course, based on performance and policy and procedure for the county, of course, but we'll address that when we get there, should I have excess. And then I think that might be it. Do you have any questions for me right now? It's kind of a brief rundown of what we've been doing.
Any questions?
I just had at least one real quickly. I did not catch that amount. I'm sorry, in the previous thing, the 135,000 amount.
135,755. That covers my mental health program and 2 VOCA employees. 271 is for the state employees as well as everything else. So that's where we're at right now. We do have interviews tomorrow for another employee for the administrative assistant. I'm so excited for that. We will be so excited to be fully staffed, and the girls have been so awesome at the CJC. They're all brand new, but they have been going above and beyond to try to help bridge that gap as we're in the middle of transition employees and everybody's so new. So we'll be excited to have kind of a rhythm and a really great, going forward.
Okay. The only other question I had is it popped in my mind, when we've had this before, when you're saying you're using grant money for employees, that we always had to have something in their employment agreement or whatever that stated that it's conditioned on the grant? Is that something that we have to worry about?
It's put in their offer letter and then in their employee, I think it's called like the status form or whatever.
Okay.
It's put there in the notes that it's contingent on grant funding.
But were
Yes.
these two, were they previously under grant? I thought, or did you move them to under grant? The ones you said now you're
Oh, no,
putting
they've
them under
always
grant?
been grant funded.
Oh, they have
We
been,
just
okay.
moved personnel and fringe and benefits around a little bit so that I can claim that they are 100% personnel or wages grant funded, so that I can capture the services that they are providing. If I didn't, I would have to report what their percentage that they're actually paying. So if I have an employee that's 79% grant funded, I can only report to my federal funders 79% of the services they are providing, which is not that great. So I want to really show them what they're doing. And benefits, while very important, that doesn't really make a difference when it comes to reporting the services provided. So I just felt that might be a smidge easier to show them what we do. So that was the only change, but they were grant funded before.
Previously?
Yes,
Okay,
those
sorry, that's the only thing I was trying to clarify, but
those
no, thank
positions
you.
were made available and possible by VOCA funding. So should we have a grant reduction, we do, like I said, a contingency plan. We would try to work with the state and implement or supplement some of their funds, which would not be supplanting. We looked into so much to make sure that we can stay above water as we go forward until they hopefully fix the situation with the federal funds. So I know that they're in the works and trying to have legislation pass the Victim Stabilization Act. I was able to go to DC and speak with John Curtis regarding the Victim Stabilization Act, and I believe he signed it. So I don't know where it's at, and I'll have the answers for you next time and kind of let you know how that's progressing. But there is a pot of money that federal government has that we want earmarked for victim funds to kind of supplement as they grow their pot of money until they can be self-sustaining again. So we've been hard at work trying to make sure that we don't lose any of our services. And it was very eye-opening to him and other legislators to let them know we're having to choose between allowing the children that are victims here and their families choose between, do we want to provide them with advocacy to help them navigate the system and assist them as we do, or do we want to spend that money on their mental health? That's a decision that nobody should have to make. So we're petitioning hard to make sure that we do not feel much of the budget decrease.
Well, it's nice to see that the state, I don't know if it's because of federal funding, but the state is stepping up to apparently add this $271,090 to the contract.
That is my new year budget. So my new fiscal year for the state started July 1. And that is the contracted amount that they increased it a smidge, but that is the contracted amount that they have agreed to. So the additional funding is going to be with our CJC mental health services. So that's where they're going to try to fill in and bridge that gap as moving forward so that we don't have to choose
Right.
between one or the other. But any additional funding or anything like that, we would definitely use towards employees to make sure that we can have some sustainability and make sure that people are appropriately compensated for the hard work that they do and the horrible nature of what they're seeing every day. We want to make sure that they're adequately compensated. So
Yeah.
I think that will add to, again, sustainability and to utilize the state funds in the most responsible way would be, and sustainable way would be wages. So we have excess, that may be where it goes, so.
Any questions?
Nope, that's it.
And
Call for a motion?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Did she have something else?
Nope.
No, I think she just wants,
Oh.
we got the
Okay.
amendment.
I would make a motion that we approve the Attorney General's grant amendment. It looks like in the amount of $271,090, as has been presented. Oh, and the VOCA grant update, but she said that didn't need
was-
approval.
That was just as a presentation, I
yes,
think, right?
I
Yeah.
just needed to update you and let you know that I'm starting my fiscal year there as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. The ending date is 6/30/27?
Yep.
Okay. Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Has been approved. I might be able to do that.
Okay.
Here, I can do this. I have another copy right here. I can give that to Ty, and then when we get a signed one, but for the minutes, there's a copy.
Yeah, when you get a signed one back, get it to us. Get it to Ty. Okay. Thank you. Is this your new employee?
Yes, I am so sorry she had to leave for just a second, but this is Taylor Hammock. She is our new victim service coordinator / victim advocate. Same thing, different title.
Welcome. Okay. I can try this. I don't remember it. I got the wrong phone. On the FAA grant agreement, DOT-FA 24 NM 1059, rehabilitate the general, huh?
Yeah, he
Oh,
sent.
we'll table it then. Nobody told me
Yes.
that. Good.
Sorry, well, he just texted me.
Okay. Table till the 20th, please. Make sure it gets on. Okay. Public comment is now available. Public comment is a time for public comment, not public debate. The county will listen to the comments made and take them into consideration. The county will not be responding to comments or answering questions. Comments might not be something the county has the power to act on. This is a recorded public meeting. If someone would like to make a comment, they need to wait until the microphone is available, then state their name for the record. And please be respectful, no interrupting. Wait your turn. There'll be a total of 15 minutes allocated, and each speaker will have 3 minutes for their comments.
Commissioners, I want to make a comment on a public notice I received this morning from the Lieutenant Governor's office on this Congressional District 2 recount. They've identified in Washington County and Tooele County, in a nutshell, we adjudicate ballots. That is any ballot that the machine doesn't count. It counts it, but it says, I don't know how to count this ballot because it's an overvote, or it didn't know how to count it. So you adjudicate them saying, okay, voter intent really is for Mickey Mouse right here. And so then you make sure that it counts that. I believe you guys participated in that. And so then you make sure it counts it, and then you commit it. Somewhere in Washington and Tooele County, their equipment wasn't letting it commit. So they actually got an error back through the system. So, but I wanted to make sure that everybody knew. They went back and reviewed all the counties and found no errors in any other county. So ours is still good. It just, those two counties had issues, but I wanted to bring out to the public that we had no problems in ours. We had no errors that way, but the state was aware of it, and ES&S is in the process to figure out what happened in their program that way. And then my next comment, Commissioners, is I contacted the Tax Commission, Property Sales Tax Division, letting them know that the sales tax for law enforcement has been postponed until the vote, assuming they get their signatures. And so he called me this morning, was confirming everything and back and forth. And he made a comment I just wanted to share with the public, is that he said, we're the first county that's ever run a referendum against the sales tax for law enforcement. So that just FYI.
Thank you. Okay, if anybody wants to step forward, please.
Hi there. My name is Jody Scholl, and I just want to share some experiences I've been having volunteering at Ashley Food Bank or Food Pantry. Some of the clients that come in, it's very interesting to me because I live in Mazer, so I'm kind of in a bubble. You know, I'm doing fine financially, but there's a lot of people here in our county not doing good financially. And here's an example of a 10-year-old girl that came in, and she was so excited that she was going to get some bread and milk. I had my 10-year-old granddaughter with me, and my granddaughter pointed it out. There's a little girl, and she was just so excited, you know, and so I thought that was interesting. Yesterday, a woman came in. She's probably, I would think, early 20s. She walked an hour in almost 100-degree weather or temperature to come get some food. There, every day I go twice a week, and I see so many senior citizens coming in there. They need help. I see recently a single teacher. She was a teacher, and she brought in her teenage daughter. She was there getting services. We have people coming in that are living in the local motels. We have people coming in that are living in campers and trailers. Last month, they helped 500 families, and some of these, I mean, one family had 14 kids. So with 500 families, that's easily around 3,000 locals that we are helping every month. And I just wonder, you know, do we really need a tax increase when there's so many people suffering, our neighbors around us? I know someone who recently got their car repossessed, and the guy that repossessed the car said that they usually give a couple weeks for people to get their finances together to come get the car. He goes, we're giving them a lot of time right now. There's so many people getting their cars repossessed right here in our county. Again, I'm just wondering, do we really need a tax increase when there's so many people suffering, when every facet of our lives has gone up from utilities to insurances to medical to food? And I just wonder if this is the right time to do a tax increase. And those are just some of my thoughts. And I would challenge you, commissioners, or even some of the people that work in the county, to possibly come to the food bank and just watch or volunteer for an hour and just see our, you know, neighbors that are coming in. And I just wanted to make you all aware of that. You know, I hope that we're not disassociated with what's really going on around here in the county. And those are my thoughts. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else, it's your call.
I move that we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you. I know, I saw that. I got a ton to sign.